What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizone for the last live of 22, where we are going to talk about, obviously, the game a little bit. Also, what it means, or what I think it means, going into the Cremonese game next week. And we are going to talk about some transfer news as well, some injury news that for me, wait, let me see, which for me also relates to why I think we're ready or not ready for that Cremonese game, which remains an important one. But we're gonna talk about the game first. I'm not sure how many people watch the game because obviously the club messed up one more time with the live stream, so they were supposed to stream it on Juve TV, not in Italy, not in Belgium. So I got double. I was unlucky because I live in Belgium. I had a link like Standard just streamed the game on Facebook, so it was easy to watch for me. But halfway through I think the first half, I don't know, they tweeted out saying because of technical issues we cannot stream, which is already hilarious because it's not the first time they messed up. But I'm not sure how many people watched the game or like had a chance to rewatch it. I did. I watched that game, and going off that performance, especially the first half performance, because that's a team that's gonna start most likely. I'm gonna say 8 players at least are gonna start. That was very underwhelming, in my opinion. A bit worried. I will talk about that. But that first half it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It was more of the same. The only thing that was missing was that cutting edge, if you want, like that one moment where we break open a game and we put it to bed. That was missing today, and I think that's how we're gonna play moving forward. And the injuries, which I will also touch on, are not gonna help us. They're not gonna help us, especially based on what I've seen today, because the players out. It's gonna be a big issue. It's gonna be a big issue. Now, let me get this out of the way. Okay, so that first half, let me see. Thanks, Xavi. Xavi's saying it wasn't a good game, but we could have scored more goals. Yeah, but so could Sanar, if I'm being completely honest. And they are. By the way, I'm watching Valladolid, or like I have it on Valladolid, Real Madrid. It's the first time I watched Fresneda play, and he's very good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, he's very good. Again, it's only 65 minutes. I've watched him play, nothing more in previous months, whatever. But today, big stage against Real Madrid, he's excellent. Like, defensively, he's on point. Going forward, he's actually very good. So maybe that's something we need to keep an eye on moving forward, because he's kind of cheap apparently. But I think Sanar could have scored more goals, and that's the biggest worry, because usually we look very solid, or like usually the last games in Serie A, we look very solid. And I think that was the reason why we were winning games. We just be solid, grind it out towards the end, pick our few moments here and there, and we win that game. That was the biggest thing today. We didn't look solid. I think we were getting cut open, if you want to call it, by a very bad team. I watched Sanar quite a lot, over here in Belgium. They're awful. Like, they are absolutely horrendous. Their best players are playing in the B squad because they don't want to sign a new deal. They were playing with a bunch of backups as well. I know it's a friendly, and usually it's friendly games. I don't really care, preseason, but this time I do care, because this is not this is not really a preseason. Usually you go into the new season and you accept that maybe the first few games you will look laggy, you will struggle, everybody will maybe lose a few points. But this is a preseason, but we know that we are, I don't know how many points behind already. We know that we are out of the Champions League. We know how the season already is going. So I think these preseason friendly games, whatever you want to call it, I think they do matter for once. And this one, I was kind of confident after the Arsenal game, Rekia game, not saying, oh, we're going to dominate week in, week out now, but I was like, okay, it looks kind of the same as we did before the World Cup break, besides a few players missing here and there, but like the basis was the same. Today, I'm slightly worried. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm slightly worried, and I will bring up some quotes and stuff. But overall, that first half, it wasn't good. We were very slow. We were so bad on the ball, especially in decision-making positions. And we'll touch on that a little bit. But yeah, for me, it wasn't a positive outing. Excuse me. Dominic saying Keane always makes a strong impression in the preseason games, and this impression lasts until he actually starts. I don't think we can rely on him. I don't think we can. We can rely on Keane. Maybe a game here and there, but like overall, I agree. He got in good position today. He was unlucky in the first half a little bit, but he needs so much time on that ball at times, and it's frustrating. At times you are wondering, like, do you see it? Like, even when he's in acres of space, sometimes he just doesn't see where he needs to go with that ball, which is it's frustrating as hell. It is. McKennie was terrible again, and I will talk about McKennie later on because it's relevant for once. It's relevant for different reasons. Okay, so let me bring up the first thing I want to say, and it's about. Oh no, forget about it. I'll talk about the game a little bit more. Because forget McKennie. I will touch on McKennie in a minute. But the second half, when we brought in the youngsters again, quote unquote, Sule and Huysen and Junior and all those guys, we looked like we had a desire to go forward, to keep that ball, to dominate play, all those things. And yeah, you got that penalty. It was deserved. We were better, blah, 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 all those things. But the one player I wanted to highlight is Sule, because as you can see on my right, the news popping up, there's a story about Sule saying he doesn't want to leave the club. He wants to stay and he wants to play for his chances. Post game, he basically echoed the news story, saying, "I feel great. I feel more and more part of the team, and all that good stuff." Basically, now he needs to play. He needs to play games because Di Maria is still not there. He's not. I think he will be the 2nd of January. He need to be back in training. Him and Paredes. So he's not going to play against Cremonese. Maybe not the second game as well against Udinese. I'm not sure. Cuadrado is injured, and even if he's not injured, it's not good. It's not good, and you don't have anyone else. Like, Sule is the way to go now, because I said I will keep the McKennie part for later on. He's gonna play McKennie in a winger position somehow, and that's what he basically said post game Allegri, that he can play McKennie in that position, which terrifies me. I cannot describe how terrifying that is. Like, it makes me not want to watch games. Like, it's that bad. Only the thought of seeing McKennie, and it's not McKennie's fault, because he cannot play that position. Like, he's so bad on that ball, decision making. It looks. I want to be nice. It looks bad. Like, let's keep it simple. It looks bad if he plays in that position, and it's not his fault. Like, he cannot play in that position. It's as simple as that. Like, his technique, his ability is just not good enough to play that position. It's watching Bernardeschi with even less of a brain in that position. It is what it is. So if Sule is not going to get minutes now, then yeah, he needs to leave. But actually, he shouldn't be leaving. Like, he should be getting significant game time because he's good. Like, he can play. He will not dominate week in, week out, which is it's normal. He's 19. He doesn't play first team football consistently. Like, it will need time. But like, if it's not now, then when? Like, Di Maria's out, Cuadrado's out, McKennie cannot play that position. Surely it's up to Sule. And every time he plays, the last couple of weeks, he looks good. He looks lively. He looks like he wants it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'll bring up the news. The first one is about all the injuries, basically. I will read it out because that's what Allegri said post-game. So after the game, he was talking to Sky Italia, and he was asked about the status of the players, saying Chiesa will be with us at Cremonese. The others absolutely not. Vlahovic had the first training session today, running a bit, positivity about his recovery, even if not for Cremonese. Pogba has no discomfort in his knees, so we remain positive. Bonucci is still struggling with his adductor problem. De Sciglio should recover for Cremonese. He won't, but should recover. But for Cremonese, he won't be there either. Quadrado has been running, and the knee is responding well. Chesney blocked his neck. Let's see if he makes it. If not, Perin will play. Now, first off, going after that news, so many injuries again. It's absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe the club is allowing this to happen for many years now. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, it makes absolutely no sense. But whatever. That's a scenario. So all those players are out. It's as simple as that. Chiesa can be there. I don't think he's going to get any minutes at Cremonese. But that's the situation. On top of that, that's when Allegri basically said about Sule, or like that situation, saying, I don't have him. That's why I played Ake in that position, all those things. I expect McKennie to play in the Quadrado position on Wednesday. But we should expect, if we're being honest, for Sule to get the start. Like, let's be completely honest, because why not? Like, I don't see a good reason why you can convince me that that Sule should not be getting a start away to Cremonese when nobody's out there in that position. But it's probably not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen. Excuse me. He will go to his guys in terms of the guys he thinks he can trust, but not really put out there the performances in there on a consistent basis. So that all these things, his quotes after the game in itself, especially that first half, like second half, most of the players are not going to play, so you cannot really base anything on that. But the first half, that's probably going to be the team, like most likely. Got me slightly worried. And usually, I know people say it's a friendly game, it doesn't matter, all those things. If it was a preseason in the summer, I would agree. But because I know what we already have been doing this season, and we are so many points behind, I actually think these games do matter, especially today's one. They do matter. We also said like it's okay or like it's good that we conceded a goal, because it's been a while, so now we know how it is. Good, that goal was terrible. I don't know if Chesney called Danilo to let that ball go. Either way, it looked absolutely ridiculous to concede a goal like that. You might say that's a fluke, because we're not getting, I don't want to say that. Like, they don't carve us open in that goal. It was just a free kick, probably miscommunication, and it went in. But I thought there were too many opportunities for Sanad, like way too many for my liking. That's just my opinion. Dominic saying it's a no-brainer. We have to win against Cremonese regardless who's available and fit for this game. Oh yeah, like we need to win. Like all these injuries, like I just listed them off. The players are not going to be there. I'm not using it as an excuse if people think that. Like, we should win. We should beat Cremonese no matter what. Even without Vlahovic, without Di Maria, even without Rabiot. I don't know if he's going to play. We should beat Cremonese. Like, there's no excuse in the world. But I believe, first of all, it's going to be a tough game. But secondly, I believe we can beat them, or we should be able to beat them with Sule playing instead of McKennie in a position like we've seen McKennie play on that wing or whatever. Even like we've seen him play even in a 3 up top for a little bit. It was terrible. But on a 4-4-2, he played that position. It looks horrendous. Like it looks bad. Like it is what like it looks. I feel sad for him when he plays that position because he can't. Like he just can't. And yes, he gets stick, but at the end of the day, he doesn't put himself in that position. It's Allegri pushing him in that position. But it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. Ooh. I need to close this down now. I know it's slow. Let me see. Also, guys, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Next week, we are back with, hopefully, the normal schedule. With game days and all those stuff. Transfer news. And hopefully with, wins. Julian saying, ideal starting 11, everyone fit in a 3-5-2. I think we did that. No? It's the same guys, basically. Everyone fit. Ooh. I need to think on that. I think we did that last week, no? And also, this is a good question. Are we going to play in a back 3 against Cremonese? Maybe. I think we are. I think we're going to play in a back 3 against Udinese. I think we should, to be honest. But that McKennie, that Allegri McKennie quote, it got me worried. Like it drained the life or like the desire to actually looking forward to the game. It drained it completely out of me because I don't want to see McKennie. It's like we played Rabiot on that position at times, and it looks bad because they just can't play that position. Like it's not a knock on them. Like they're just not those type of players. Like I actually don't get it. I actually don't get it. But yeah. What else do I have? Oh yeah, he was asked. So Allegri was asked about 2022. And his takeaway on 22, his takeaways on good moments, blah blah blah, all those things. He said something. The quote is on the screen, I think. It will pop up. He said something about up to the Inter game we were well, then we lost the Coppa Italia, all those things. The second part was better, blah blah blah. But the main thing he said, and now we got the answer. We finally get the answer. He said, well, this is what he said. Let me bring it up. So this is what he said on the question of what do you think about 22. He said the good thing about the second part of 22 is that with the injuries of the senior players, we have found good young players who can give us a hand and are an added value. There are already 6 or 7. Then we have those on loan like Rovella and De Winter. Now, this is telling because I think a few weeks ago we were discussing about was he forced to play these players by the management? Was it just a fluke, like we said, or like Amani said? Yes, injuries and all those things, and you just didn't have an option. Well, it is this. He basically agreed. Like he basically told us that it's that thing, that we got so many injuries, and now and they needed to play him. But I think the thing to add to that is also the players he's using are quality, because if they're not, or like if they don't have any talent or promise, he would have stick with senior players, even playing that completely out of positions like Danilo at midfield, like he did, and he would have stuck with that consistently instead of using these young players. He's using these young players, which is good, which is very good, because we're gonna need them moving forward to save money and all those things. And the only issue I have is the Sule part still, because Miretti and Fagioli, they have a place in the squad. I think that's evident at this moment in time. I'll talk about Miretti later on. Ealing Jr. came in. He's part of the first team now. Like, it's official. The club put it out there. He's not gonna, move. He's not gonna move to the under 23s and all those things. So he's part of the first team. I think Sule is the only one who is basically up in the air now at this moment in time. Is he gonna stay? Is he gonna leave? Nobody knows. I don't think even he knows. He wants to stay. I think that's obvious. He doesn't want to leave on loan. But he needs to play. Like, he needs to play because you're not going to improve if you don't play. It's as simple as that. And I think as well that maybe it's a win in a loss. Like, the season's not going well, but maybe for once it's a good thing, because I don't think we would have saw so many players coming into the first team, even other players making little cameos, and you can see, okay, and you can feel in and around the club they are the next guys up. They're gonna get into the first team soon and do their thing, blah blah blah, all those things. So maybe it's a win in an L. It's a win in an L, basically, because moving forward as well, we're gonna lose many players. We don't have the cash. We don't have the money to replace them all. It's as simple as that. It's just as simple as that. So it's a good thing. It's a very good thing that they're in and around the first team. Also interesting that he mentioned De Winter and Rovella. We know he's a big fan of De Winter. He is. But the Rovella one is such a weird one, because he sent him away basically because he wanted Paredes, and that turned up to be, up to this point, a complete disaster, because Paredes is never fit. He's struggling when he plays, and Rovella looks good at Monza. So it's a weird one. But he mentioned Rovella, so who knows, next season. Dominique is saying, what do you think about this Huijsen kid? I'm excited. We talked about it. Tomorrow, Julian's video will drop. He talked about Huijsen. He talked about these youngsters, the ones who are in the team and the ones who can break into the first team soon, or whatever you want to call it. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. But Huijsen, even today, he's good. Like, he is very good on the ball. He's on point. His positioning is very good. The only thing he's missing at this moment in time is just physicality, but that you will gain with fitness and also playing more, in my opinion. But he looks very promising. I think there's priority to tie him up to a long-term deal. Like, it's very important. I believe it's important. Julian saying Fresneda is balling for Valladolid against Real Madrid right now. Yeah, I talked about him. I have the game on. Based on those 90 minutes, or like this game, sign him for 50 mil or 80 mil, but it's only one game. But he looks very good. He looks, especially that first half, like, he was solid. I thought he was the best player on that pitch almost. But yeah, let me see. I'm happy Di Maria and Paredes are getting absolutely tuned up still, while we are struggling for players. Yeah, it's a weird one, but the club gave them this time off. I think I said it a few weeks ago, that I find it strange that they have so much time off. Like, I find it really strange, but the club gave it to the players. Like, I don't like. It's not that Di Maria and Paredes asked to get so much time off. The club made those rules. I'm confused as of why they got so much time. I would have expected them to be back basically today, because they train tomorrow. They train on Monday, on Sunday. So I was expecting them to be back at least today, and get the first training session. But whatever, I guess. Like, it's very frustrating. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's very frustrating. It's not fun. It's not a fun situation, especially like Julian's saying, because we're missing so many players. So it makes absolutely no sense. But whatever. Um, but yeah, that's that. That's the game. That's today's performance. Cremonese on Wednesday on my birthday, so they better win. I'm expecting a win. Like we should win. It's Cremonese away. Have they won a game this season? One or none? Let me know in the chat. It's one or none, I think. But like you should be beating Cremonese away. Like I don't know how to break it to the team. Like you should be beating Cremonese away. And it's not going to be an easy game because I think we do miss that spark. Like we missed that spark. When I looked at that team today, it was that. Like moving forward, it's very predictable. When Sule came in, it's different because he beats his man. Like he tries to do certain things, but other than that, like in the first half, Miliki, like all these players, it looks very predictable. It looks very stale, flat. Like it's if Cremonese, sets up in a block with 10 behind the ball. It's gonna be a very, very long day for us. Who knows? What they're gonna do? Are they gonna come at us? I don't know. Maybe based on the last 6 games. Like, if you asked me this in October, I would say yeah, teams are gonna come for us because we're all over the place. But based on the last 6 Serie A games, we look more solid. But you should beat Cremonese. It's as simple as that. Nonsense, Dominique. Okay, so they didn't win a game. So I was right. I thought one. I don't know why, but yeah, that's all you need to know. Like they didn't win a game. They better do. They better win a game. They better lose this one. Excuse me. I was watching Real Madrid. But we need those 3 points. I think Milan played today. They lost against PSV. Napoli had a rocky preseason friendly, but there are so many points to play with. They're so good. I think they will just pick it up one more time. There will be teams that will drop off. I don't know if it's going to be us. I don't know who's going to be. But teams will drop off. That will happen. The hope, and Fresneda got cooked, by the way. He got cooked by Camavinga, but they were attacking with 10 men down. So, they were 10 men on the pitch, so that's fine. He played a good game. For a kid who's 18. Yeah. But we should be beating Cremonese. That's it. As simple as that. Before I wrap it up, because it's the last one of 23, transfer updates, no updates. No updates. The only update was that Sule wants to say. Post game with his interview, he kind of confirmed that, in my opinion. Nothing on McAllister. Rabiot, the news was that, Juve are meeting with his agent, his mom, but it's very difficult because they're aiming to get 10 or at least stay around his current wage. I don't even think we're going to offer him that. So he's gone. Like, he's absolutely gone. But we're going to need him this season. That's why I don't want to sell him in January, because I watched Locatelli play again today, and I'm not sure about Locatelli. Like, every time I watch him, I'll keep saying it. I like him, but I don't get him as a player. I don't. It's very up and down within games as well, and it's frustrating. It's becoming frustrating in my opinion, because I do expect more from him, because he can give more than what he's giving, but he's very inconsistent in my opinion. So we need to keep Rabiot, and I hope he keeps playing like this for his money, which is good. And then, goodbye in the summer, whatever. But that's the only transfer news. Nothing. Let's see if anything will pop up, because even Romeo is very quiet. It gives you the vibe that really nothing is gonna happen, basically. But you never know. I think that's it. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Yeah, talked about the game, talked about 23. talked about the possible transfer news. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of it for today. If anyone has any questions, like a little Q&A, you can do that now. Otherwise, I'm gonna wrap up the last stream of 22. There will be out a video tomorrow. It's pre-recorded from Julian. He's gonna talk about the youngsters in the team already and knocking on the door. So stay tuned out for that tomorrow. It's gonna drop tomorrow, and on Sunday, not sure what's gonna drop on Sunday, but we will be back with our usual schedule starting next week. Dominique is saying it's quite ridiculous to lose the best version of Rabiot now. Yeah, but on that money he wants or even is on, I'm okay with it. I know what you're trying to say. You know, it looks ridiculous, but the last 3 seasons or the previous 3 seasons also happened, and I need more than a few good months, especially if you want more or to stay on that wage. Like, he didn't, validate that wage over 4 years. Like, he just did it completely not. So I'm okay with it. It's frustrating, but I'm okay with it. You can get players out there who are probably cheaper and probably better, or like give you more consistent performance from the day they sign, basically. Anna's saying, would you take Bellingham, Musiala, or Enzo? Wait, what? Yeah. I think nobody's gonna answer no on that question. Yeah. I will take all 3 of them in a heartbeat, but it's never gonna happen. I think nobody's gonna say no to any of those players. The Enzo Fernandez one it's absolutely ridiculous, by the way. 120 mil. If Chelsea are gonna pay that, hey, if you have the money and you don't really care, okay, but ridiculous. 10 million wages, like absolutely madness. By the way, Bellingham, he will go for 100 mil. Musiala, he's not gonna leave Bayern, but if he's gonna leave, at some point he's gonna bring up the same wages. Honestly, I mean, choose one of them. That's a difficult one. That's a very difficult question. I'm gonna say Musiala, because if the let's say the price is for all 3, it's 100 mil, and I know Bellingham has proved more, but I think Musiala is that guy who has X factor, who has something different than the normal player. Yes, Bellingham and Fernandes are very good, but you can find players like him or in and around about the same level for less. I think it's very hard to find a player with Musiala's ability, like technical ability. I think it's more difficult to find, to be honest. But I will take all 3 of them. I will take all 3 of them, especially Bellingham. I think he's very good. But yeah, that's hypothetical. We will struggle to get McAllister, apparently. So forget about that. But I'm gonna wrap it up. For today. Last video of 22, or the last live video. Thanks everyone for watching today. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also thanks everybody for watching in 22, because that's when the channel completely took off. Thanks everybody for the support. Keep watching, keep liking, keep commenting, even if you don't like what we're doing, whatever. I want to wish you all a happy new year, and then we will see you back on Monday live again, probably previewing the Cremonese game. So stay tuned for that. Have a lovely new year, and we will see you back on Monday.